So you struggling to control your finances? Are you being told you need to create a budget but you just don't know how? Are your finances an absolute train wreck? Well, what if I told you there's a simple budgeting rule that could change your financial life? Well, stay tuned because in today's video, we're going to take a closer look. So let's get this train rolling. Hey everyone, this is AJ, your ace in the hole, and welcome to the channel where we super simplify personal finance and provide tips and life hacks for young adults and others based on real life experiences to help kickstart your financial journey. Whether you're just getting started or a parent looking for ideas, either way, I'm here to help stack the deck in your favor. So that said, let's get right to it. So today we're going to assess one of the most popular budgeting strategies out there called the 50-30-20 rule. But what is this magical rule, and is it really the best? Stick around because we're going to break it all down. Plus, we're going to take a look at some alternatives that might actually be a better fit for you. So, the 50-30-20 rule is all about simplicity in budgeting. At its core, it's a budgeting method that divides your after-tax income into three categories: 50% to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% to your savings. Now, let's take a quick look at each of these buckets. This won't be an exhaustive list, but we'll touch on the primary items which should provide some clarity on the basic approach. So first, we have the needs category, which is meant to cover essential living expenses required for survival and basic well-being. These are typically non-negotiable or non-discretionary expenses that you must pay to maintain a reasonable standard of living. This includes things such as housing expenses, which is the largest expense for most people. This includes rent or mortgage payments, and also homeowners or renters insurance. Next, there's utilities and essential services, so electricity, water, and gas, for instance. Then, of course, there's food expenses. You gotta eat, right? This includes essential groceries and household items, such as paper products and cleaning supplies. However, note that this does not include dining out, coffee shops, or food delivery services. We'll touch on those a bit later. Next is primary transportation expenses, meaning for work and essential travel only. This includes car payments, auto insurance, gasoline, or charging for you EV fans, and ongoing maintenance. Moving on, there's medical expenses, meaning basic health protection. This includes health insurance premiums as well as doctor visits and dental and vision care. This does not, however, include cosmetic procedures or elective surgeries. So that wraps up the needs category, which again is meant to cover only essential expenses. Next is the wants category, which includes all non-essential expenses that may enhance your lifestyle but are not required for basic survival, although some of you may argue some of these. These are considered discretionary expenses, meaning you can cut back on these if necessary. This category contains things such as entertainment expenses, so cable or streaming services like Netflix or Hulu. Also movie, concert, or sporting event tickets, as well as music subscriptions such as Spotify or Apple Music. Now we circle back to those optional dining out expenses, which covers restaurants, fast food, and coffee shop purchases. You know, Starbucks and Chipotle. This also includes alcohol, bar, and nightclub expenses, and things like meal subscription and delivery services such as HelloFresh, Blue Apron, DoorDash, or Uber Eats. Also a part of the wants category is leisurely shopping or personal items, so all of your new clothes, shoes, accessories. Also electronics such as smartphones, laptops, gaming consoles, and it includes smart home device subscriptions such as Amazon Alexa, Google Home, or Ring doorbells. All travel and vacation related expenses are also included in this category, as well as those premium self-care and wellness expenses like gym memberships, fitness classes, as well as spa treatments such as massages, facials, and mani-pedis. Moving right along, pun intended, there are the optional transportation upgrades such as Uber, Lyft, or taxi rides when not necessary for work. Then we have other subscriptions and memberships like Amazon Prime, Costco, Sam's Club memberships, as well as monthly product or door delivery box subscriptions such as FabFitFun or BarkBox. Closing out this category, there are pet and pet expenses and other gifts and special occasion purchases. Again, the wants category covers everything that enhances your lifestyle but isn't required for survival. Now, this by no means suggests that you shouldn't have these expenses. Yet, if your finances are tight, cutting back the wants category should be the first place to look in the event of a shortfall. In fact, if I could recommend a personal life hack, I would suggest that you figuratively change the 50-30-20 rule to the 50-20-30 rule, as you should always save and pay yourself first before you proceed into the wants category. Finally, there's the savings category, which is pretty self-explanatory. This category should include putting aside savings for a basic emergency fund for unexpected emergencies for, say, home or car repairs. Investments to help build upon your financial future, such as investments in stocks, mutual funds, or real estate. Then there's retirement savings, such as funding a 401k or other retirement accounts. And yes, you should be thinking about this topic now, despite how far out into the future it may seem. And finally, debt payments. So credit cards, student loans, and such should also come from this category as well. Now, while there are some benefits to the 50-30-20 rule, there's also some limitations that should be considered. As far as benefits, first, it's simple and easy to follow. There's no need for complex calculations, just categorize expenses accordingly. It also provides financial stability. It ensures essential needs are met while allocating funds for future security. Next, it encourages balance, still allowing for enjoyment while preventing overspending on luxuries. This also helps build an appreciative attitude towards the things that we do have, which is a trait that's not very common today. Finally, it promotes savings and debt reduction, which ultimately helps you work towards financial independence in the future. Now, on the contrary, there are some limitations of the 50-30-20 rule. First, it's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all solution. The rule may not apply as easily to those with higher cost of living expenses or those living in expensive areas. Next is the consideration of varying income levels. Those with low incomes may struggle to keep needs within 50%, while high earners may be able to save more than 20%. And finally, it doesn't prioritize debt for some. Individuals with high debt may need to allocate more than 20% to repayment, but hopefully, if this is put in place early and with discipline, this can be prevented in the first place, which is really the goal in all of this. So that said, if you find that the 50-30-20 rule is maybe not the perfect fit, don't fret, because there are many other alternative budgeting methods to consider as well. We'll touch on 3 additional options next. First, we have a slight yet pivotal spin on the 50-30-20 rule, which is the 60-30-10 rule. Originally, this was the same premise with slightly modified rates, applying a little extra to the needs and wants. However, the version we're going to discuss swaps the wants and savings categories. This is a more aggressive savings alternative that goes exactly in line with my earlier suggestion about paying yourself first. This method helps self-regulate spending on the wants by prioritizing the savings category in the sequence, helping keep the wants category within your means as opposed to saving only if you have money left, which can be a risk with the 50-30-20 rule. This rule realigns the approach to 60% to needs, 30% to savings, and 10% to wants. Again, the percentages can always be adjusted in any of these methods, but the key methodology here is that the savings category is prioritized over the wants. Next, we have the 80-20 rule, which is also a pay-yourself-first budgeting strategy. However, this approach further simplifies the overall budgeting process when compared to the 50-30-20 rule as it combines the needs and wants categories. This rule simply states that you first save 20% of your income, allowing 80% of your income for the rest. This approach is ideal for someone that prefers even more simplicity in budgeting and that is disciplined enough to manage the needs and wants from the same bucket of money. This rule can also be modified to a 70-30 approach for those super saver types that really want to jumpstart their savings. Finally, this next budgeting option provides a different approach altogether. This method is called zero-based budgeting, sometimes referred to as ZBB. Instead of breaking down income into category percentages, this approach is where every dollar of your income is assigned, including expenses and savings. So your total income minus expenses and savings equals 0 at the end of the month. This method is best for those who want maximum control of their finances, but can obviously require more effort and discipline to manage. This is the method I personally chose early on, tracking all expenses and savings along the way, and have used this method my entire life. So that provides 3 alternative budgeting strategies to the 50-30-20 rule, but there are other budgeting options out there, such as the 70-20-10 rule or the envelope system, among others. The various options offer something for everyone as it relates to budgeting, giving no excuse to not have some method of personal budgeting in place. So which budget is right for you? The answer really depends on your income, expenses, and financial goals. Check out this handy comparison of the options we discussed today. This shows a number of budgeting features and how they rank across each of the methods. This provides a handy reference guide to help you choose an option that will work best for you. Feel free to pause the video and take a screenshot if you want. There really is no right or wrong answer in budgeting, but one thing's for certain. If you dream of a successful financial future and financial independence, you should have a disciplined budgeting process in place. Later in life, your situation will certainly change, and so can your budgeting method, so don't sweat it. If you would like some help with detailed instructions on creating and managing a budget, let me know in the comments, and if there's enough interest, we can create a future video that dives deeper into the budget creation process. So I want to thank you for watching today, and I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please give a like and subscribe, and most importantly, if you know anyone that might be interested in this type of content, please share the video. It's our goal to help educate and arm our future generations with the info they need to build their own financial success in life. If you're interested in more info regarding this type of content, please check out these videos here, and I hope to see you in the next one. This is AJ, your ace in the hole. See ya!